Chapter 1 I Know All the Plots. You are listening at novelfull.audio. May all living beings in China live forever and be like dragons. Everyone, look at your phones, there's big news. There is a major in the military who obtained the inheritance of Black Dragon Mountain in the large-scale dungeon swallowing Starry Sky. It is said that he even became a teacher to a realm lord. Fuck, is it true? You wouldn't know it if you read the news. The official also issued a notice. Hiss. I saw it. The military even promoted his rank directly from major to brigadier general. Outrageous. What's so outrageous? This is a large dungeon, very difficult. It is reasonable for anyone who has not been in 3 to 5 years to pass the level and be promoted to military rank. I remember swallowing Starry Sky was a copy of Gaowu's civilization, and Daxia took off in a wave. I don't know if I can defeat Dick, the god of war from the Midi Empire. It's useless to care about this, so let's wish him a safe return first. Large dungeons are too difficult. Indeed, I went through a 2-star dungeon called Chongjin Lake before. 10 people entered, and only 3 came out alive. Alas. Believe first, then question. Lin Luo looked confused when hearing the chatter coming from all around. What are they talking about? Swallowing the Starry Sky in Chongjin Lake, aren't these the names of novels and movies? Why is it related to the copy? And, where is this? He raised his head in confusion, wanting to take a look at his surroundings. Suddenly, there was an inexplicable stinging pain, like countless steel needles drilling out of the depths of his brain at the same time. The messy memories emerged from the depths and merged into Lin Luo's mind. Soon, the stinging sensation gradually dissipated. Lin Luo had sweat dripping from his forehead and was breathing heavily. But his eyes were particularly bright, and he finally understood what all this was about. I actually traveled through time. He also traveled to a parallel world that was very similar to Earth. The difference is that this world also has a place called the reincarnation space. Everyone over the age of 18 will receive permission to enter the reincarnation space. After completing the trial, you can become a true reincarnation. The swallowing Starry Sky and Chongjin Lake they just talked about are exactly the copy worlds in the reincarnation space. The entire reincarnation space is infinitely huge, and it contains countless different copy worlds. These copies are independent and real. When the reincarnators clear the dungeon, they will be rewarded with corresponding points and reincarnation coins based on different evaluations to enhance their strength. Even when certain conditions are met, the things in the copy can be brought back to reality. Powerful reincarnations, such as Dick, the god of war, have the power to move mountains and reclaim seas. Ordinary thermal weapons cannot kill him. What made Lin Luo even more ecstatic? These so-called copies are actually plots from movies, TV shows, animations, games and novels that I have watched in my previous life. Like The Wandering Earth, Hurry, Star Wars, The Deer and the Cauldron and so on. In the parallel world, these film and television entertainment works did not appear. People here know nothing about the plot in the copy. In other words, only you know the dungeon plot in the reincarnation space. Lin Luo's eyes were bright. Knowing the plot meant that he was ahead of everyone at the beginning. Those difficult copies are completely within your reach. After thinking about this clearly, the smile on Lin Luo's face almost stopped, and he hurriedly coughed to cover it up. As for where the reincarnation space comes from, no one knows. According to the managers in the space, the reincarnation space is created by the supreme will and serves the entire universe. No one knows what the facts are. The memory fragments in my mind are still emerging, supplementing all the information about the reincarnation space. But now Lin Luo could no longer suppress the excitement in his heart. I can't wait to enter the reincarnation space immediately to show off my talents. Jingle bell bell. The class bell rang, interrupting everyone's conversation and pulling Lin Luo out of his thoughts. In addition to teaching cultural courses, the school also teaches cultural courses. Students will also be taught how to analyze the copy and how to use the most efficient and safe method to obtain a higher evaluation of the copy. Of course, these things have no appeal to the forest. During the entire class, he had no intention of listening and concentrated on receiving the memory of the original owner. After all the afternoon classes were over, Lin Luo packed up his things, rushed out of the classroom, and rushed home according to the address in his memory. since the emergence of the reincarnation space, the entire society has changed. Companies that used to need 211 or 985 graduates will now require at least reincarnators in their recruitment information. A more advanced company will have more requirements for the star rating of the reincarnation. Those who reach 2-star reincarnation can easily earn an annual salary of 1 million. If you can reach 3-star reincarnation, even the country will come forward to recruit them. In Daxia, the person with the highest star rating is just a 5-star reincarnator from the military. It is enough to show how difficult it is to improve the star rating. As memory continues to improve, Lin Luo is inspired by this atmosphere of universal participation in the reincarnation space. Perhaps, it won't take too long for my name to be resounding throughout the world. He couldn't wait to rush home. When I got home, the room was quiet. In the memory of the original owner, his parents died in a car accident 6 months ago, and he had an only son in the family. It is completely consistent with the setting of the protagonist in the novel whose parents both died. This background made Lin Luo very satisfied. He walked back to the room quickly, closed the door tightly, and waited for the night to fall. According to the rules set by the administrator, only people over the age of 18 are eligible to enter the reincarnation space. As long as midnight comes, he can officially enter the reincarnation space. The nervous mood made Lin Luo not sleepy at all. Finally, with the sound of the time finally came to 12 o'clock in the middle of the night. A burning heat suddenly came from the forehead. Standing in front of the mirror, Lin Luo found a sign at the center of his eyebrows. Like the ancient flower makeup, it is composed of 6 stars, forming a pyramid shape from top to bottom, which looks very eye-catching. This is the sign of the reincarnation space. He stretched out his hand and pressed on the sign, silently saying in his heart, "Enter the reincarnation space." Swish! A flash of white light passed by, and his figure disappeared directly from the room. When he opened his eyes again, Lin Luo found that he was standing in a square, with gray-white floor tiles under his feet. The square is not very big, only a few hundred meters long and wide. There is an endless stream of reincarnations coming and going. Most of them wear masks and veils to hide their true identities. People keep appearing in the open space and disappearing on the spot, with excitement flashing in his eyes. Lin Luo secretly clenched his fists and was about to walk around the square. Low voice suddenly sounded in his ear. "Trialist, welcome to the reincarnation space for the first time. Please give yourself a code name first / or use your real name directly. Please choose whether you need to change your appearance." At the same time, a translucent screen appeared in front of him. In addition to the attribute panel, a 3D projection was also displayed on the screen, which was exactly what he looked like at this time. Lin Luo's eyes flashed. This voice should be the manager of the reincarnation space. He pondered for a moment, stretched out his hand and adjusted it directly on the projection, trying to pinch out the honest face of Zhao Gu in his previous life according to his memory. But because the foundation is really good, after working for a long time, he only managed to create a face that looked like Mei Changsu. He knew the plot, and he would definitely attract a lot of attention when he explored the dungeon in the future. Using his real appearance and name would be too conspicuous. After thinking for a while, he solemnly wrote 2 words on the screen, "Galaxy." That the administrator's voice sounded again. "Trialist code, Galaxy, confirmed." A string of sorted data appeared in front of Lin Luo. "Trialist, Galaxy, Reincarnation No, 202332250127, P-Zone, Strength, 5. Constitution, 5. Agility, 5. Spirit, 5. Free Attributes, 0. Reincarnation Points, 0. Reincarnation Coins, 0. Skills, none. Items, none. Reincarnation Star Level, Trialist, Temporary. At the beginning, I played a joke and combined devouring and fighting to write Devouring the Sky. I didn't expect that there was actually a book called Devouring the Sky, which caused a lot of misunderstandings. So I changed it back to Starry Sky in the first chapter. If Devouring the Sky appears in subsequent chapters, it will be regarded as Devouring the Starry Sky. It's just that the places where it appears are too scattered, so I can't change it one by one. Please be informed. Chapter 2, Entering the Trial Dungeon World. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Each reincarnationist has 4 basic attributes. I heard that there are 2 hidden attributes that need to be activated under special circumstances. Of course, these things have nothing to do with Lin Luo for the time being. The only thing is that the basic attribute values in that column are all 5, which makes his eyes twitch. According to the rules of the reincarnation space, the average attribute value of a normal and healthy adult fluctuates around 10. How bad is the body of the original owner? Not even half the level of a normal person. Lin Luo was speechless, but there was nothing to say. As long as you become a reincarnationist, you can use points to exchange attribute points, and then add points with your own talents, but this method is only for one person. For others, the most important thing is not points, but to return safely from the dungeon. Many worlds with only 1 star and 2 stars have a mortality rate of more than 50%. Even if you can pass the level safely, the evaluation is often only D or E, and the points bonus is less than 30% of the usual. This makes points particularly precious in the reincarnation space. What is even more distressing is that as more points are obtained, the star level of the reincarnation will gradually increase. Once the star level of the reincarnation exceeds the copy, for example, when a 5-star reincarnation explores a 4-star world, even if he gets an S-level evaluation, the points he gets in the end will be greatly reduced. It completely eliminates the idea of those high-star masters to brush low-star copies. Even low-star copies do not mean they are completely harmless. In Lin Luo's memory, there was news that a 6-star reincarnation died while exploring a 4-star copy. The reincarnation space is connected to the real world, and the reincarnations enter the space directly in the flesh. Once injured in the copy, the injury will be brought back to the real world. And if you die, it is equivalent to real death. Therefore, many masters would rather choose to play badly than easily challenge high-star copies. Lin Luo put away the screen and looked up into the distance. There are many buildings in the other 3 directions, most of which are functional buildings, such as exchanges or taverns. The most important thing in the reincarnation space lies at the end of the square. A huge black pillar stood quietly in the distance. As if supporting the heaven and earth, there were many inscriptions engraved on the pillar, and there was a faint golden light, which looked extraordinary. The pillar was called the Samsara Pillar. All newcomers had to go to the Samsara Pillar to accept tasks when exploring the dungeon for the first time. After the memory baptism just now, Lin Luo was much more cautious. Although he knew all the plots, he still had to start with a simple dungeon and get familiar with the situation first. In order to avoid regrets when encountering emergencies, randomly choosing a mask to put on his face, Lin Luo started walking towards the Samsara Pillar. Standing in front of the Samsara Pillar, you can feel its hugeness even more. The pillar with a diameter of hundreds of meters stood in front of you, like a huge wall with no top visible, and a depressing breath came to your face. Countless small rooms were dug out at the bottom, and this was the place to accept the trial. Finding an empty room, Lin Luo stepped into it. Bang! The door behind him suddenly closed. The room was very small, probably less than 10 square meters. A figure in a black robe sat at the table, looking up at Lin Luo. Trialist Galaxy, welcome to your arrival. How can I help you? That the voice of this person was exactly the same as the voice of the manager just heard. It was probably an intelligent life that was mass-produced. Lin Luo looked at him a few more times and replied, I want to complete the trial. Everyone must complete the reincarnation trial before becoming a true reincarnationist. Compared with the formal copy, the trial copy is simpler and there is almost no danger to life. No problem. The black-robed man who is also the manager said. He waved his hand, and a thread-bound book suddenly appeared on the table. The trial copy cannot be selected independently, you can draw a world from it. The difficulty of the copy will be appropriately restricted, and the world task will not have too high requirements. Although it was said that Lin Luo was asked to go over and draw, but when he spoke, the virtual screen also appeared at the same time. Countless names familiar to Lin Luo flashed across the screen. Kung Fu, A Good Show, The Deer and the Cauldron, The Wandering Earth, Wushuang, Infernal Affairs. It's fine to draw on the screen, but you have to take out a book to pretend. This damn sense of ritual. Seeing these names, Lin Luo's heart finally settled down. Sure enough, they were the TV series he had watched in his previous life. Moreover, he was surprised to find that his memory seemed to have been strengthened invisibly. Movies like Wushuang and A Good Show were only watched once in his previous life, but now he can recall them completely. Even the minor plots, Lin Luo knew them completely. For example, the movie Wuxuang. If I guessed correctly, its mission is to help the police find the real painter and arrest him. Another example is a movie like Infernal Affairs that catches the inner ghost. It may be difficult for others, but for Lin Luo, it is as easy as pie. I have seen the final plot, and I know the real identity of the painter and who the inner ghost is. If I draw these two, it is estimated that it will take less than 10 minutes to complete the task after entering the copy world. Relaxed and enjoyable, but there is no way, the trial copy cannot be freely selected. Thinking it was a pity, Lin Luo reached out and gently placed his hand on the screen. Anyway, they were all plots he had seen before, so it didn't matter which one he got. Swish. The screen paused instantly. Two dark golden characters were written in a flamboyant style, Kung Fu. The name of the dungeon displayed on the screen made Lin Luo's eyes sparkle. He actually got this world. Logically speaking, for those big guys in the Kung Fu world who could fly and hide, and catch bullets with their bare hands, this should not be considered a novice dungeon, even if the manager said that the difficulty of the task would be appropriately reduced, but he still had to face various dangers. Failure to complete the task was a small matter, and if he was not careful, he might even lose his life. However, for Lin Luo, the moment he saw the dungeon, all the plots had already gone through his mind. A world full of crises must also be accompanied by generous rewards. Others can practice ancient martial arts to fly and hide, so why can't he? Perhaps this is also his chance. Trialist Galaxy, you have selected the Kung Fu dungeon world. The administrator said. This dungeon was originally a 2-star world, but the difficulty of the mission has been reduced. Do you confirm to enter the world? Confirm. Lin Luo did not hesitate. The administrator nodded and put away the thread-bound book on the table. The transmission will start after exiting the reincarnation column. Please be prepared. For the first time exploring the dungeon, the reincarnation space will give you a trialist backpack, 10-slot capacity. I wish you good luck. The small door of the room slowly opened. As Lin Luo exited the room, a prompt sounded beside his ear. The dungeon world has been confirmed, and the transmission countdown is 10, 9, 3, 2, 1, the transmission begins. A burst of black fog appeared out of thin air, and soon wrapped Lin Luo's whole body. The vision slowly turned black, and it was pitch dark. As the hazy light flashed, his body had disappeared from the spot and teleported away. Chapter 3. Are you Xingzai? Call me brother. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The slight feeling of weightlessness soon dissipated. Beep beep. The car horn sounded. Lin Luo regained his sight and turned to look around. At this time, he was standing on the curb, surrounded by pedestrians. In the distance were dozens of meters-high buildings, and countless quaint old cars were driving on the street. In the background of the plot, this should be the Magic City in the 1940s. The various forces competed with each other, and undercurrents surged. But in the plot of Kung Fu, there are only two main fighting forces. One is the Axe Gang led by Brother Chen, and the other is the Pig Cage Village under the jurisdiction of Yang Guo and Xiao Longnu. Trialist Hehehe, you have officially started the trial mission. Please choose your camp. Currently available camps: Axe Gang, Pig Cage Village. The prompt sounded, and Lin Luo, who was recalling the plot, was stunned. Can you choose a camp at will? Isn't it that justice will surely defeat evil, and then join the Pig Cage Village camp by default? But this is also good. If the reincarnation space can arrange the identity, it will save me from integrating into the plot. I choose to join the Pig Cage Village. The strength of the Axe Gang is indeed strong, and in a later period, it also raised an ultimate boss, the Fire Cloud Evil God, but Lin Luo said that he could not accept serving tea and water as a younger brother in the Axe Gang. The camp selection has been confirmed, and the identity information is being created. Name: Zhang De. Nickname: Short-lived Zhang. Identity: an ordinary tenant in the Pig Cage Village. Basic information: orphan, in poor health since childhood. The doctor asserted that he would not live beyond 20 years old, so he has the nickname of Short-lived Zhang. He is currently working as a coolie in the village to make a living. Trial mission: help Coolie Chong and others repel the Axe Gang, and kill at least one member of the Axe Gang. Task time limit: 7 days. Warning: this copy was originally a 2-star copy. In addition to the trialists, there are other reincarnations in this copy. Please be careful to hide your identity. A series of prompts sounded in my ears. After all, it was a trial mission, and the mission requirements were not high. It could be completed by killing a member of the Axe Gang. In the original plot, even if Lin Luo did not appear, the Pig Cage Village could successfully repel the Axe Gang's first attack, so, it was not difficult to complete the mission, but what alerted Lin Luo was that there were other reincarnations in this copy. In the reincarnation space, everyone is a competitor to each other. In order to get more points, even characters in the same camp have stabbed each other in the back countless times. There are even more people who kill people. This made Lin Luo have to be more cautious. After a long silence, Lin Luo sighed, touching his pocket. In addition to the map, there were also a few wrinkled and worn banknotes. In this society, the legal currency is depreciating rapidly. Compared with toilet paper, only the patterns on it are more beautiful. These banknotes add up to a total purchasing power of only a dozen yuan. It was evening now, and Lin Luo walked along the street, carefully recall the information just prompted in his mind. The mission is to repel the attack of the Axe Gang, which means that the Axe Gang has not yet met the Pig Cage Village. Then Xingzai and Fatty must not have appeared. The two should still be street thugs, the kind who dare not even stretch out their hands to rob money. Thinking of this, Lin Luo paused and looked around with a burning gaze. The city area of Modu in the 1940s was not very large, and it could be visited in an hour or so. He had already walked around half of the city area along the way just now, under the reflection of countless neon lights. Although it was already night, the scene around the street was still clearly visible. He walked around for more than 10 minutes. Finally, among a group of thugs sitting on the roadside, Lin Luo found two familiar figures. The first one he saw was Fatty Kong. It was actually difficult not to be discovered with such a big body standing there. The key is that only after finding Xingzai can he find another key figure through him. This character rarely appears in the plot, but runs through the plot. Fatty Tsong was wearing denim overalls, while Xingzai was wearing a shirt with a dirty coat casually draped over his shoulders. The two were licking the ice cream in their hands. They didn't notice that there was a person standing in front of them, looking down at them. Xingzai. Lin Luo couldn't wait and shouted. Hearing the shout, Xingzai raised his head and looked up at Lin Luo in front of him, but the fat boy next to him still launched a fierce attack on the ice cream. The character Lin Luo came from Pig Cage Village, a relatively backward place in Magic City. The clothes he wore naturally exuded a sense of poverty. Who are you? Xingzai replied casually, with a sense of arrogance in his words. Lin Luo didn't care about this. Before breaking out of the cocoon and becoming a butterfly, Xingzai was just a small person at the bottom of society. When facing the upper class, he would bend down and bow his head involuntarily, but when facing people at the same level, he would use the social atmosphere to disguise his kindness. This is not a big deal, and I will need his help later. I recently founded a gang. I heard that you are very powerful. Are you interested in joining my gang? This sentence finally caught Xingzai's attention. His expression became visibly serious, and he looked Lin Luo up and down. Friend, are you kidding me? I'm a member of the Axe Gang. How could I possibly join your gang? What's the name of your gang? The Sky Blasting Gang. Lin Luo said calmly. He had thought of these words on the way here. I've observed you for a few days and I know your strength very well. Although we don't have as many people and territory as the Axe Gang, as long as we work hard, we will definitely succeed. By then, I will be the gang leader and you will be the deputy gang leader above thousands of people. Become bigger and stronger, and create more glory. As a senior Dagon, Lin Luo knew these words by heart. In addition to Xingzai's current embarrassing situation, hearing these words, he was so excited that he wanted to swear to join the gang immediately. In fact, at the beginning of the plot, Xingzai, as the male protagonist, was a complete fool. He believed whatever others said. Xingzai stood up without eating the ice cream. Gang leader, I don't know your name yet. My name is Zhangde. Lin Luo looked at him with a smile and stretched out his right hand at the same time. Big brother. Xingzai excitedly stretched out his hand and shook it tightly with Lin Luo. From now on, I am yours. If you tell me to go east, I will never go west. If you tell me to pee, I will never poop. Okay, okay. Lin Luo was very pleased. It was worth it for him to look for him on the street for half an afternoon. How dare he say he is the male lead? He is too easy to fool. By the way, Xingzai, I heard that you have a unique skill called the Buddha Palm. Can you let me learn it? The name of the Buddha Palm made Xingzai's expression suddenly stiffen. For him, this is not a martial arts secret book, but a memory of humiliation in his childhood. But facing his big brother's request, he began to hesitate. Brother, it's not that I don't want to teach you. The secret book was burned when I was a child, and now I have forgotten how to play. And these things are all scams. Xingzai recalled his childhood and said excitedly, that old beggar cheated my pocket money, gave me a rubbish secret book, and caused me to be beaten. If I see him again, I must twist his head off. Old beggar. Lin Luo narrowed his eyes and accurately grasped the key words. In the original plot, the whereabouts of the old beggar were mysterious and unpredictable, and he only appeared at the beginning and the end. The only thing in common between the two scenes is that Xingzai's figure appeared in them. If nothing unexpected happens, the figure of the mysterious old beggar should also be nearby. Fuck, Xingzai beside him suddenly cursed, and Lin Luo came back to his senses. Brother, look, that person is the old beggar who cheated me to buy the secret book. Fatty, why are you standing there? Catch him. Chapter 4, Ming Divine Art and 6 Meridians Divine Sword. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The confused fatty didn't react yet. Xingzai threw away the ice cream with a snap and ran towards the alley in the distance. Following behind him was Lin Luo, who had already reacted. His expression was particularly wonderful while running. Just when he had such a thought, the old beggar appeared by himself. This is the charm of Xingzai as the protagonist. It is a bit outrageous, but for now, let's catch up with the old beggar first. The two ran wildly on the crowded street, and the fat boy followed slowly behind. It's hard to say whether the old beggar is a hermit or not, at least now, under the pursuit of Xingzai and Lin Luo. He stood there in a daze, as if he was scared silly. At the entrance of the alley, the two finally ran to the old beggar. Fuck, it's you. Xingzai was furious, grabbing the old beggar's collar and ready to punch him. At the critical moment, Lin Luo shouted, Xingzai, swoosh. The fist wind was close to the old beggar. Facing this newly recognized elder brother, Xingzai gritted his teeth and didn't do it after all. The old beggar's eyes shifted from Xingzai to Lin Luo. There was curiosity in his eyes, and a hint of unfathomable. Hey, I don't know you, let me go, I'm going to call the police to arrest you. The old beggar yelled. You dare to say that? Xingzai was furious. If it weren't for your broken book, I wouldn't have no money to go to school, and I wouldn't be on the street. Hurry up, give me back the money. He spread his hands and said. At this moment, Lin Luo stepped forward and let go of Xingzai's hand holding the old beggar. He even tidied up the old beggar's clothes. Xingzai, he is an old man after all, you can't be so rude to him. Looking at the old beggar, Lin Luo's heart was suddenly full of expectations. I heard that you sold Xingzai a martial arts secret book called Rolai Shenjiang. Xingzai added on the side. Yes, the Buddha Palm. The old beggar narrowed his eyes and looked at Xingzai, waving his hands repeatedly. No, you have the wrong person, I don't know him. I have something to do at home, let's talk next time. That he turned around and wanted to leave here. Fortunately, Lin Luo was quick to grab him. He smiled and said, Don't worry, old man, I'm not here to return your money. I just want to ask if you have other secret books here. If you do, I'll take them all. Brother. Don't talk first. Lin Luo glanced at Xingzai. In the plot, the old beggar actually has a lot of secret books in his hands, but the only 2 times he appeared, he was looking for children to sell martial arts secret books. I don't know if it's because children are easy to deceive or because there are restrictions on martial arts practice. Don't get me wrong, old man, I really just want to buy a few secret books from you, please give them up. The only dozen yuan left on him, simplified into modern currency, Lin Luo took out all of them and handed them to the old beggar with both hands. Facing the money offensive, the old beggar's originally impatient eyes suddenly became unusually clear. His gaze swept over Lin Luo, then he looked at Xingzai behind him, who had been eyeing him covetously. Suddenly, the old beggar laughed a few times, made an unfathomable expression on his face, and put his hand into his arms. Variables, there are still variables, that he took out a few booklets from his arms, with red and blue covers, there were many words printed on the cover. 18 Palms of the Dragon, 9 Yang Magic, 6 Meridians Divine Sword, 9 Swords of Dugu, Northern Divine Art. If it were someone else, such as Xingzai who was standing behind him and gritting his teeth, he would definitely think that the old beggar was a liar. These so-called secret books are also money-making things. But Lin Luo knew the plot. A Tathagata palm that only sold for a few cents could kill the almost invincible fire cloud evil god directly at the end of the plot. Even at that time, Xingzai was just a beginner. This shows how invincible these secret books are. Old man, I want all these secret books, name your price. That there were still more than 10 yuan in his pocket, enough to buy all these secret books that cost only a few cents each. However, the old beggar smiled and shook his head. My benefactor, I didn't sell you these secret books originally, but I will give you this opportunity because you and I are destined to be together. You can choose any of these secret books, too. That the old beggar stretched out 2 fingers. I won't ask for more money, I'll take all this money. As soon as he finished speaking, Lin Luo felt that his hands were empty. The banknotes that he had originally held in his hand disappeared at this time and fell into the hands of the old beggar. It was as fast as a ghost hand, and Xingzai stopped shouting and looked surprised. Looking at those secret books, Lin Luo was heartbroken. If he could buy them all, and wait for the copies to come out, he could just copy a few pages and sell them, and he could easily become a billionaire. Now, I can only buy 2 books, forget it. 2 books is better than nothing. Lin Luo carefully weighed the pros and cons as he scanned the pile of secret books. Maybe there will be a martial arts world in the future, and the secret books he chose can also be used in the martial arts world in the future, or just choose these 2 books. He made up his mind, looked at the old beggar and said, I choose Northern Divine Art and 6 Meridians Divine Sword. That it's just right that one is internal and the other is external, which complement each other. At the same time, Duan Yu in Jin Yang's world also learned the same 2 kinds of skills. He can flirt with girls everywhere and has a lot of luck in love, so there is no reason why he can't. The old beggar didn't say much, and took out 2 secret books and threw them. I'll give you the secret books. I won't care how you learn them. Only those who are destined to learn can finally learn the magic skills. It all depends on your own efforts. Let's go. Waving his hand, the old beggar put the remaining secret books back into his arms, turned around and walked behind him. Xingzai remembered something and was about to reach out to stop him. Lin Luo, who got the secret book, was overjoyed and hurriedly grabbed his collar. Xingzai, this old man is not an ordinary person. You blamed him wrongly for what happened before. He persuaded, from childhood to adulthood, every time Xingzai was injured, he would recover automatically the next day. Even after being tortured by the fire cloud evil god, his body was able to recover. It is hard to say whether it was the Tathagata palm that protected his body, so, Xingzai really has to thank this old beggar. Go back and have a good rest first, and recall the secrets of the Tathagata palm. By the way, it will be very useful in the future. I live in the pig cage village outside the city. Come to me tomorrow and just say my name. Go ahead. Although he was resentful, Xingzai did not refute in the end. Brother, be careful. After bowing to Lin Luo, he walked to the corner of the street with Fatty Tsong and disappeared in the crowd. After the 2 disappeared, Lin Luo hurriedly picked up the 2 secret books in his hand. I can't practice on the street, but I can always take a look at the contents inside, right? He grinned and turned to the first page of Ming Divine Art. The whole page was blank. Lin Luo's expression froze. Before his brain could react, a prompt suddenly sounded beside his ear. Trialist Inha, congratulations on finding the A+ level technique Ming Divine Art, and you have learned it now. Hiss. Open the second book. Trialist Inha, congratulations on finding the A-level skill 6 Meridians Divine Sword, and you have learned it now. The sudden reminder shocked Lin Luo's whole body. He originally thought that he would have to spend several years to learn the skill like Xingzai in the plot. Unexpectedly, he had already learned the magic skill as soon as he opened the secret book, and he was overjoyed, and the attribute panel that had remained unchanged for thousands of years finally changed at this time. Trialist, Inha, reincarnation number 202332250127, P area, strength, 5. Constitution, 7. Agility, 8. Spirit, 23. Free. Attribute, 0. Reincarnation points, 0. Reincarnation coins, 0. Skills, Ming Divine Art, first layer, 6 Meridians Divine Sword, first layer, Reincarnation Star Rating, Trialist. Chapter 5 Brother, please let me go. You are listening at novelfull.audio. When watching the movie, Lin Luo felt that this old beggar was not simple. With so many secret books on him, it is very likely that even the Fire Cloud evil god cannot beat him. It is a pity that he does not appear in many plots. I do not have a deep understanding of this old beggar. On the attribute panel, there are also detailed introductions to the 2 secret books. Ming Divine Art, A+ level technique, absorbs the attribute value of the opponent and uses it for oneself. The current realm is the first level, 30% efficiency. Spend reincarnation coins to improve the realm of the technique. 0.6 Meridians Divine Sword, a level technique, greatly improves the spiritual attribute and transforms the true chi, spiritual value, in the body into invisible sword chi emitted from the fingers. The power depends on the user's strength. The current realm is the first level. Spend reincarnation coins to improve the realm of the technique. In the reincarnation space, the A-level secret book can be regarded as one of the top techniques. Going up, it is the legendary S-level technique that only appears in large copies. I spent more than 10 yuan today and was able to buy 2 A-level secret techniques, pure profit. Especially the Ming Divine Art, which can be called an epic bug. After the improvement of the reincarnation space, it no longer cultivates Ming Chi, but directly absorbs other people's attribute values. As one rises, the other falls. As long as you can survive in the early stage, no one will be your opponent in the later stage. At this moment, Lin Luo's self-confidence is overflowing. Of course, the current priority is to help Zhulong City to repel the attack of the Axe Gang. Seeing that it was getting late, Lin Luo rushed to the direction of Zhulong City according to the location on the map. The Magic City at night, even the Magic City in the 1940s, already has some of the appearance of the city that never sleeps in the future. Red and green neon lights are flashing everywhere, and enchanting songs are ringing everywhere, but not all places are like this. Turning a corner, the street is still wide, but there is no figure on this street. Even Lin Luo can feel the aura of killing lingering around. After thinking about it, I just learned 2 secret books of magic skills, so I won't dare to walk even one road. After a pause, he walked forward. It was extremely quiet around him, only the sound of footsteps echoed in the street. Suddenly, bang! A wooden plaque flew out of the building next to him, fell heavily on the ground, and broke into many large pieces, followed by an arrogant and violent roar. Who else? This familiar roar made Lin Luo turn his head and look at the building. No way, we just got to this part of the plot. In the original book, the beginning of the movie was the boss of the Crocodile Gang being rampant in the police station, and then being hacked to death by Brother Chen and the Axe Gang. This triggered the development of the story of the whole movie. What Lin Luo missed most was when they walked out of the police station, the shot of the Crocodile Gang boss's hand slowly falling on the lower back of his woman. At that time, Lin Luo recalled it for a long time. I don't know if the character in the copy is similar to the actor in reality. Lin Luo thought to himself, the police station is located right at the center of several forks in the road. If I remember correctly, hundreds of Axe Gang members are rushing here. If they are quick, they can still make it in time. Without hesitation, Lin Luo trotted and pushed open the door of the police station. The Axe Gang had made arrangements in advance, and most of the police officers were not on duty in the police station tonight. The few people who were there were beaten as sandbags by the boss of the Crocodile Gang. Lin Luo came to the police station smoothly. The familiar lines from the original work came to his ears again. Is there still the law? A middle-aged man with a sharp mouth and broken teeth smiled and said, is there still the law? That the boss of the Crocodile Gang stepped on the middle tube leather boots. Your chiefs have to give face to the Crocodile Gang, otherwise, he can't be the chief. I'm sorry, I really didn't know she was your wife. Pa! That a mouthful of saliva was spit out. The police officer subconsciously dodged. The boss of the Crocodile Gang was unhappy and kicked over the boiling kettle beside him. The boiling water fell on the police officer with blood all over his face, and the screams echoed throughout the police station. You dare to hide? The leader of the Crocodile Gang sneered. he put on a cowboy hat and turned his head expressionlessly. Go. Wait. Lin Luo, wearing a low-quality cloth, finally appeared and walked up the stairs to the attic, facing the puzzled gazes of the crowd. He slowly walked in front of the leader of the crocodile gang. You are the leader of the crocodile gang, right? What are you? The leader of the crocodile gang said impatiently. This man was in rags and didn't wear a police uniform. He shouldn't be a member of the police station. At that time, there was a shortage of everything in the Magic City Beach, but there was no shortage of all kinds of desperate people. He stepped back subconsciously, but Lin Luo was faster, and stretched out his hand to pinch his shoulder directly. It was the first time to use it, and I didn't know where to absorb the Biming divine art anyway. It was said in the original book that all acupoints can absorb true energy, and the shoulders should be able to do it. Biming divine art. Lin Luo shouted in his heart. A faint suction force suddenly came from the palm of his hand. The crocodile gang leader in front of him was terrified and tried to break free from the man's hand, but found that his body seemed to have lost control. He wanted to call his younger brother to come up, but he couldn't even open his mouth. He could only stare at Lin Luo with wide eyes. The prompt sounded. Character, Crocodile Gang Leader. The 4 attributes are, 13, 17, 14, 9. Biming divine art has been triggered, absorbing a total of 4, 5, 4, 2 attribute values from the opponent's body. It has been converted into the corresponding attribute values for the trialists. Please check. On the other hand, the leader of the crocodile gang, after the attribute values were absorbed, the whole person's face was pale, as if he had indulged in excessive sexual activities. His body was weak and his breath was weak. When Lin Luo let go, his exposed skin instantly tightened, and his flesh and blood disappeared out of thin air. His body, like a skeleton, fell heavily to the ground. The sudden change made everyone present dumbfounded. Check the attribute panel. Trialist, Galaxy, Lin Luo, Reincarnation No, 202332250127, P-Zone, Strength, 9. Constitution, 12. Agility, 12. Spirit, 25. Free Attributes, 0. Reincarnation Points, 0. Reincarnation Coins, 0. Skills, Biming Divine Art, 1st Level, 6 Meridians Divine Sword, 1st Level, Reincarnation Star Level, Trialist. The increase is not large, mainly because the boss of the crocodile gang is just an ordinary person, and his attribute values are not high. If the landlady in the city, that is, Xiaolongnu, can be sucked dry. Hiss. But Lin Luo can only imagine now, looking around, the younger brothers of the crocodile gang are looking at him in horror. Even their boss was killed in front of them, and they didn't dare to come up to take revenge. The same is true for several police officers in the distance. They are just gangsters, and the police are also police officers in the French concession. Lin Luo doesn't have that much sympathy. Besides, for the sake of the subsequent plot, he has to hide. Now Lin Luo's attribute values are completely able to crush ordinary people. In addition, he has the top secret book of 6 Meridians Divine Sword. In a few seconds, more than a dozen people in the room fell to the ground. The only one left was the woman of the crocodile gang leader, the Cheongsam woman who was shivering in the corner. Big brother, please let me go. The woman's eyes were full of tears, and she looked delicate and weak. The parallel world was unclear, but before crossing, Lin Luo was a veteran in the flower field. He smiled and said, "There are people from the Axe gang outside. You know best what their relationship with the crocodile gang is. If you don't want to die, wait for me here." There is another important thing. In the original plot, after the crocodile gang left, the director counted money crazily in the office. These ill-gotten gains, I have to help him solve it. The office is in the corner of the police station, and Lin Luo quickly found the location. In just half a minute, he came out of the office with a bright smile. What surprised him was that in addition to the money sent by the Axe gang, there are also many private collections of the director in the safe of the office. Moreover, they are all dark green US dollars. The amount is as high as more than 2 million. It is more than enough to buy the entire pig cage village. He waved to the woman. "Come down, I will take you to a safe place." Chapter 6. One arrow pierces the clouds, thousands of troops come to meet. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Zhulong City is located in the suburbs. Even without Xingzai's piercing arrows, this is the territory that the Axe Gang must take over. Back home, Lin Luo did not talk about work but only about love. The extreme waist-to-hip ratio in the movie must be experienced in person. In the quiet Zhulong City, whimpering sounds were heard from time to time, until the second half of the night. Master Lin, who had been busy all day, finally finished his work, opening the door and walking to the balcony. Looking at the brilliant lights of the city in the distance, he fell into deep thought. The plot became much more compact afterwards. On that day, Xingzai and Fatty Tsong came to Zhulong City and found Jiang Bao to extort some money, but they did not expect that the residents in the city were all talented. They spoke well. Even the ant who grew vegetables could beat Xingzai with one punch. With the appearance of the landlady, Xingzai, who was forced into a corner, finally took out his piercing arrows, thus leading to the plot of the Axe Gang afterwards. The door of the room was half open, and Lin Luo put his hands on the railing. With the blessing of the 6 Meridians divine sword, and the absorption of the attributes of the Crocodile Gang's boss and the director, his spiritual value has soared to 26 points. His strength, physique and agility attributes have also reached 12, 15 and 14 points respectively. It is enough to crush the ordinary gang members of the Axe Gang, but they are gangs after all, and they don't care about the code of conduct. They will definitely rush in at that time. With his weak physique, he probably can't hold on for 10 seconds, it's better to hide in the dark first and kill a few people with the 6 Meridians divine sword. Completing the trial task is the premise. Lin Luo thought of a countermeasure in his mind, took a few deep breaths to calm his emotions, and turned to walk back to the room. The surge in spiritual attributes made his sixth sense much stronger. The moment he entered the door, Lin Luo suddenly realized that someone was spying on him in the dark. He stopped suddenly and turned his head quickly. On the top floor of one of the buildings in the fortress, several wooden windows were closed, leaving only the cover hanging outside the window floating in the wind. The familiar scene made Lin Luo stunned for a moment and took a breath. That should be the room of the landlady. Who was looking at me just now? The landlady or the landlord? Did they find something unusual about me? The cover floating in the wind was very large, and Lin Luo was also very nervous. He walked into the room and closed the door tightly. Lin Luo, who was originally preparing to rest, was no longer sleepy at this moment. He walked to the chair and sat down, clasped his hands in front of his chest, and lowered his head to think. At noon, 2 figures, one fat and one thin, walked to the gate of the fortress. Xingzai had a thin sweat on his face, and his right hand was on his brow bone, looking at the pig cage fortress in front of him. Fatty, are you ready for the things I asked you to find someone to draw? Fatty nodded and pulled open his black leather coat. On the chest where the fat is piled up, a black dragon-shaped tattoo is bearing its fangs and claws. There are also 3 big characters on it, Exploding Heaven Gang. Not bad. Xingzai said with a smile, since the eldest brother hasn't come yet, I'll take you to find something fun. If our Exploding Heaven Gang wants to develop, we must take down this fortress. Let's explore the way first today. There is only one barber shop in the fortress, which is run by the charming boy named Jiang Bao. Just like the development in the original plot, in the snoring of the fat boy, Xingzai was besieged by everyone and was almost crippled by a punch from the ant. Then, the landlady appeared in a white gauze dress, picked up the flip-flops and dragged him to the corner of the wall. Xingzai's face was bleeding, and he took out a red firecracker from his arms and held it tightly in his hand. One arrow piercing the clouds, thousands of troops come to meet. Bang. The explosion sounded from behind the wall. Xingzai, who wanted to escape from the walled city, suddenly found that dozens of men in black were walking towards him outside the wall. The one walking in front was a fat man wearing a top hat. A big hole was blown in the top hat on the fat man's head, and smoke came out of the hole. In the walled city, the landlady standing in the front had her eyes wide open, as if she had thought of something, waiting for dozens of men in black to come in through the gate. Without waiting for everyone to react, the landlady spread her legs and ran back to the room at a very fast speed, disappearing in front of everyone. The second in command of the Axe Gang, who had pockmarks on his face, was dumbfounded and turned to look at the residents of the walled city. After Xingzai's explanation, he was already considered a member of the Axe Gang. The fat man stepped forward and stood in front of Jiang Bao. Jiang Bao was unmoved, staring forward with eyes like dead fish. You want to blackmail me too? The fat man narrowed his eyes, pulled out an axe from his waist, and moved his head in front of Jiangbao. Ah, a drop of cold sweat appeared on Jiangbao's temple, but he still spoke slowly, you, blackmail. Swish. Bang. Crack. In a flash, Jiangbao stood there unscathed. The second in command, who had wanted to kill Jiangbao with an axe, disappeared instantly. The members of the axe gang reacted and turned to look behind. In the distance, an oil barrel was swaying, and hands and feet stretched out from the side of the barrel. Everyone rushed to the side of the barrel, and the second in command who had just disappeared was lying inside. They wanted to pull him out. Don't move. Broken. Broken. Call someone quickly. The second in command foamed at the mouth and muttered, the real arrow that belonged to the axe gang was taken out, and a firework in the shape of an axe appeared in the sky above the fortress. The buzzer sounded, chirp bang. Amid the sound of the cannon, Lin Luo's body trembled and he quickly opened his eyes. He turned his head and looked out the window. When he saw the shadow of the axe in the sky, suddenly, Lin Luo immediately understood what happened in the outside world. Calling Xingzai to the pig cage fortress was to correspond to the original plot and trigger the plot of the axe gang. After all, if Xingzai didn't come, the second in command wouldn't have died. The plot after that was unpredictable. Now it seems that even if I intervened, the general plot has not been changed. The axe gang also arrived as scheduled. The sound of dense cars soon sounded in the yard. Lin Luo knew in his heart that this was a signal that the large army had arrived. Soon, all residents would be caught and held in the yard. Just wait for Kaliqiang and the others to take action, and then I can pick up a few heads in the chaos, and then I can successfully complete the task. Thinking of this, he was slightly excited. Suddenly, he felt a movement behind him. He looked sideways and found that the gang leader's wife, who was lying on the bed, had also woken up. She was staring at him with fear on her face. As for the gang leader's wife, if she wasn't a little pretty, Lin Luo actually didn't bother to care about her. Besides, he still had a task to complete later. It would be troublesome to bring one more person. After a moment of silence, Lin Luo said, I'll give you a chance to survive. His tone was low and serious. Before the sun sets today, you go and hide in the cabinet. No matter what you hear, don't make a sound or come out. Do you understand? I understand. When she saw Lin Luo squinting, she nodded hurriedly. Just last night, she saw with her own eyes that the man in front of her was like a zombie, sucking the leader of the crocodile gang dry. He dared not refuse the other party's request, and agreed to it. With his keen hearing, Lin Luo could already hear the footsteps coming from the stairs. There was no time to explain. He walked to the bed in 2 steps and picked up the woman on the bed. He walked to the shabby cabinet, stuffed her into it, and covered her body with some rags. Just as he closed the cabinet door and turned to walk towards the door, bang! Several men in black clothes kicked the door open and rushed in. Without saying anything, they grabbed Lin Luo's collar and tore him out of the door. Chapter 7, Defeat the Axe Gang and Continue the Mission. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Hundreds of residents in the entire city were caught in the yard at the same time. The Axe Gang members, who were more numerous, formed a big circle and surrounded everyone. Strangely, the landlady and the landlord disappeared. In the original plot, they were not seen. Brother Qin held a cigar in his mouth and stood in front of the iron barrel for a long time in deep thought. The second in command foamed at the mouth and his eyes rolled back. In the hot weather, a stench of salted fish hit him in the face. Since the establishment of the Axe Gang, this is the biggest humiliation they have encountered. A woman was pulled out of the crowd. 2 barrels of gasoline were poured over her head. Brother Qin spread his legs, lit a lighter, and looked at everyone calmly. I'll count to 3, whoever did it will stand up. 1. 2. He didn't shout the 3rd time, but threw the lighter directly at the woman. Just as the lighter was about to fall to the ground, a man wearing a fashionable cardigan, fashionable linen shorts and a headband on his head suddenly stood up. He reached out to catch the lighter, and looked at Brother Chen with a piercing look. I did it. Brother Chen had no expression on his face from beginning to end. Even when Kaliqiang showed up, he just sneered. Countless younger brothers around him received the hint, and at the same time drew out the axes from their waists and rushed over with ferocious expressions. Bang, bang, bang. The fierce fight started instantly. Squatting in the crowd in the distance, Lin Luo looked up as if watching a play. Compared to watching a movie at that time, witnessing such a scene of 1 versus 100 was indeed more exciting. Anyway, even if he was not there, with Kaliqiang, Master Hong and Boss Dong, they could still repel the attack of the Axe Gang. He simply hid in the crowd and watched with interest for a long time. Bang! In the tailor's shop, Master Hong, with iron rings hanging on his hands, joined the battle with the Hong family iron wire fist. Seeing how fierce these two men were, someone soon opened the trunk of the car. More than a dozen Chicago typewriters applied to join the battle. Whoosh! Here comes the flying stick. Boss Dong, with blood on the corner of his mouth, easily rejected the application of the Chicago typewriter. Dust flew all over the yard, and the vision became turbid. In the chaos, Lin Luo slowly stood up, with a gleam in his eyes. The opportunity has come. Now, everyone's attention is attracted by the 3 Kaliqiangs, and they didn't notice that Lao Lu also joined the battle. With the long-range attack of the 6 Meridians divine sword, Lin Luo quickly shot and killed 3 members of the Axe Gang. The prompt sounded. Currently killed Axe Gang members, 3 people. Stop the attack of the Axe Gang, not yet completed. The copy task does not limit you to killing only 1 Axe Gang member. If I guess correctly, the more tasks you complete in excess, the higher the evaluation you will get in the end. Lin Luo hid in the smoke and dust. Find the lone Axe Gang member and pinch his throat. These members are all ordinary people, with at most a few with better physical fitness, and their attributes are comparable to Lin Luo. The North Sea divine art is running. In just 3 seconds, a dry and fragile skeleton is brand new. When the body fell to the ground, it instantly broke into pieces like glass. In less than 5 minutes, Lin Luo shot 4 people to death with the 6 Meridians divine sword and sucked 9 people to death with the North Sea divine art. Open the panel to check. The attribute values have ushered in an epic surge. Trialist, Galaxy, Reincarnation number, 202332250127, P area, Strength, 35. Constitution, 36. Agility, 35. Spirit, 45. Free attributes, 0. Reincarnation points, 0. Reincarnation coins, 0. Skills, North Sea divine art, 1st level, 6 Meridians divine sword, 1st level. Reincarnation star level, Trialist. Looking at the attribute values displayed on the panel, Lin Luo's eyes lit up. I was too involved in the fight just now, and I didn't feel anything. Now that he had calmed down, he could finally carefully experience the changes in his body. He picked up a scattered brick, he clenched his right fist and smashed it hard at the bricklayer. Bang! The gray brick shattered instantly, and the gravel flew everywhere. At the same time, when using the 6 Meridians divine sword before, the sword energy could only fly out more than 2 meters. Now, Lin Luo flicked his index finger, and a sword energy that was invisible to the naked eye suddenly flew out and shot a vase in the distance. The vase was 5 meters away from where he was. According to the official star classification of reincarnationists, to become a 1-star reincarnationist, the total attribute value must be higher than 160 points, and the single attribute must be higher than 35 points. According to his current attribute panel, the total attribute points are as high as 151 points. And the lowest strength and agility attributes have reached 35 points. I am almost a 1-star reincarnationist now. Lin Luo's mind echoed this sentence. Although reincarnation points are needed to increase the star level of reincarnationists, but the so-called star level is just a proof. To be truly powerful, a reincarnator must constantly improve his own attributes and continuously break through higher star level copies. Judging from the attribute values, Lin Luo is not far from becoming a 1-star reincarnator. And he hasn't even finished the copy mission of the trial. It is enough to see how abnormal the A+ level Biming divine art is for reincarnators. What are the characteristics of the S-level skills, even SSS-level skills? He is looking forward to it in his heart. Suddenly there was a warning sound next to my ear. Current kills of Axe Gang members, 13. Mission to stop the Axe Gang's attack, accomplished. Trialist Galaxy, you have completed the trial mission. You can choose to exit the dungeon immediately, or choose to stay in the dungeon until the mission countdown ends. As a 2-star dungeon, the complete tasks of Kung Fu World are definitely more than these. Even Fire Cloud Evil God didn't appear, and the plot has only gone about a third of the way to this point. Although he completed the task, Lin Luo did not want to quit so soon. A total of 7 days of mission period. Just quitting like this, wouldn't it be a waste of a great opportunity? I choose to stay in the copy world. The beep did not sound again. The battle in the yard has also come to an end. The smoke slowly dissipated, and the 3 coolies supported each other, breathing heavily. Many members of the Axe gang who could still move supported him and ran out of the city. Life seems to have returned to its original trajectory. However, the charterer and charterer who disappeared before appeared mysteriously after the Axe gang left. The charterer wanted to drive the 2 out of the walled city on the grounds that the coolies had forced them to expose themselves. The residents naturally disagreed. Lin Luo was sitting in the corner, always feeling that the charterer's eyes were constantly glancing towards him. You can only use force to shrink your body back to reduce your sense of presence. After a burst of lion's roar, the situation was once again controlled by the charterer. According to the ancestral rules, it was ultimately decided by drawing lots whether the 3 of them would stay or go. Whistle rustle. The sound of lottery draws the hearts of everyone. Snap. A bamboo stick fell from the charterer's hand. Among the crowd, Lin Luo narrowed his eyes. He didn't even need to look at it. The sign must be signed. The 3 coolies were also destined to leave the walled city, but no one expected that Brother Chen would find the 2 Qin Mo brothers through the introduction of people in the world. Just when Coolie forced them to leave at night, the piano demon launched an attack, used sneak attacks to kill 3 people one by one. Although the charterer was finally forced to take action, the deaths of the 3 coolies could not be undone after all. The trial has been completed, and Lin Luo doesn't know if there will be any related tasks in the future, but at least, if you have the opportunity to interfere in the plot, you must try it. Put it down. The charterer's voice trembled. From the bottom of her heart, she didn't want to drive away the 3 of them, but the lottery had already been drawn and it was too late to regret it. The feeling of disappointment echoed among everyone. In silence, Lin Luo stood up and walked slowly outside the ancestral hall. He looked back at Coolie Chang's honest yet sad expression. Turn around and leave. Chapter 8: The possibility of absorbing the Qin Demon's attribute values. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The night fell quickly. Since the Axe gang left, Xingzai also disappeared. Not surprisingly, he should have been taken back by the Axe gang. The plot to lead out the Fire Cloud evil god requires Xingzai to take action. Anyway, there is no danger, so Lin Luo did not care. Let the plot develop on its own. Kaliqiang packed up his things and met the other 2 on the staircase platform. They exchanged ideas with each other. After clasping their fists, they turned around and left. Master Hong and Boss Dong had a lot of luggage, and they had to go back to pack it for a while. Kaliqiang only had a small bag on his back. Standing in front of the pig cage fortress, he stared for a long time with a depressed look. Sighing, he turned and walked towards the path beside him. At this time, the 2 brothers Qin Mo had already walked in from the gate of the fortress. The 2 wore sunglasses, slowly untied the guqin behind them, and waved their hands to play the guqin. Kaliqiang passed by and subconsciously glanced at the 2 brothers. A sense of vigilance suddenly flashed in his heart, but he didn't ask any more questions, and walked into the path with his head down. The sound of the piano echoed in the fortress. It was dark and windy, and the lights in the fortress were blocked by the low bungalows, and the path was cold and dark. Clang. The sound of the piano came from behind. A cat's shadow jumped over the roof of the bungalow, but the shadow was cut in half in mid-air and fell silently to the ground. Kaliqiang tilted his head slightly. He was a martial arts master, and his 6th sense was much stronger than that of ordinary people, but the 2 brothers Qin Mo were not ordinary people either. When Kaliqiang noticed something and turned around to look behind him, a sound of the piano mixed with sharp sword energy flew over, and at an extremely fast speed, it instantly reached Kaliqiang's throat. The shadow of the moon fell, and his shadow stood there blankly. At the critical moment, on the roof of the bungalow, Lin Luo, who had been hiding for a long time, finally got his chance. 6 Meridians divine sword. That the sword energy also flew out from the fingertips, and before the sound of the piano was about to pass through Kaliqiang, it was shot down from the air. The 2 sword energies collided, and a clanging sound rang out. Seeing that the sound of the piano was blocked by him, Lin Luo's eyes showed joy. Fortunately, the attack launched by the 2 brothers of Qin Mo was very slow, but it was just difficult to detect. It happened that his 6 Meridians divine sword was also trained with such sword energy. In addition, he had been hiding for a long time and observing for a long time, so he was able to successfully block the attack of the piano sound. Seeing Kaliqiang standing there in a daze, his forehead was full of cold sweat, Lin Luo felt very satisfied. Compared with martial arts masters like Kaliqiang, his current strength is still a gap, but the gap is definitely not big. If he uses the Biming divine art to absorb a few more people, he may be stronger than them. Kaliqiang. Lin Luo shouted softly. Hearing the shout, Kaliqiang turned around in a daze. Zhangde. How could it be you? Kaliqiang's expression was even more surprised. In the courtyard of the distant fortress, the two brothers Qin Mo were also slightly surprised. Someone could actually block their attack. Moreover, what did the other party use to block it? Even they themselves could not see clearly. The younger brother stood up and wanted to come over to check, but he was stopped by his brother. The lights in the tailor's shop were on, and a sturdy figure walked in it, as if he was packing things. Don't forget our mission, deal with the target first, said the elder brother. The soothing and elegant piano sounded again. The roof of the bungalow, in the blind spot of Qin Mo and others, Kaliqiang, covered in cold sweat, panted and looked at Lin Luo in surprise. Zhangde, I have known you for 3 years, how come I didn't know you also know Kung Fu? What kind of martial arts did you do just now? As expected of the rumored martial arts fanatic, even his life was almost lost, and he still cared about such a problem. Lin Luo felt funny in his heart. Don't you want to ask who those two people are first? Don't you want to know who wants to kill you? After this reminder, Kaliqiang also reacted. Who are they? No, wait. Using the sound of the piano as a weapon, they should be the famous Qin Demon brothers in the world, right? Kaliqiang is indeed taciturn, but he is not a fool. He lowered his head and pondered for a moment, looking at Lin Luo for confirmation. Since I came to the city, the only time I made enemies with others should be today's incident. They were hired by the Axe Gang to kill me. Not just to kill you. Lin Luo acquiesced to his guess. There are also Master Hong and Boss Dong. What? Kaliqiang stood up quickly. No, I have to go out to help Master Hong and others. This matter started because of me, and Master Hong and others can't suffer. He looked impatient, and Lin Luo hurriedly reached out to hold him. Don't worry, listen to the piano sound outside, they haven't started yet. Lin Luo also has his own considerations for saving Kaliqiang. As a character in the Pig Cage City camp, he and Kaliqiang are allies in the same camp. It is impossible to use the Biming divine art on them. The remaining targets are only the two brothers of Qin Mo. As for the Fire Cloud Evil God, he dare not be so wishful. As the ultimate boss in the 2-star dungeon world, the attribute value of the Fire Cloud Evil God should touch the critical point of the 3-star reincarnation. The minimum single attribute is not less than 200 points, and the overall attribute value is estimated to be close to 800 points. And himself, all the attribute values added up are only 151 points. If he really meets him, he will probably be smashed into a pulp in one encounter, but Lin Luo still dared to covet the two brothers Qin Mo. Besides, he was not fighting alone. Kuli Chang, how strong are you now? Lin Luo asked. Compared with Qin Mo, can you beat them? Kuli Chang frowned. My current strength is probably in the category of second-rate masters. If I fight in close combat, I can definitely beat them. But Qin Mo uses the zither as a weapon, and he will definitely not fight me in close combat. I understand. Lin Luo nodded. He thought for a while, and then asked, today, we fought against the Axe Gang. Among them, there were a few more powerful ones. What level are they at? A reference system is needed to estimate the combat power of the Qin Mo brothers. Kuli Chang was a little confused. According to the level of Zhang Da's help just now, he is at least at the level of a second-rate master. Do I need to ask these questions? But he didn't ask more, and replied, those who are stronger are probably at the level of third-rate masters. In this way, Lin Luo's mind became much clearer. The so-called third-rate masters are just a little stronger than ordinary people. The average value of basic attributes is about 15. In normal battles, it is no problem for one person to fight 3 or 4 people. For second-rate masters like Kaliqiang, the average value of attributes is about 40. The same is true for the two brothers Qin Mo. But Qin Mo and Qin Mo are more inclined to long-range attacks, and they are professions such as mages, and their mental attributes may be relatively high. Kaliqiang is a warrior profession, with relatively high strength and physique attributes. If they help, with his own 6 Meridians divine sword, it is not impossible to kill the 2 brothers Qin Mo. Thinking of this, Lin Luo's eyes were firm. The sound of the piano in the distance also became sharp at this time. It should be that Master Hong and Qin Mo met, and the 2 sides started fighting. Let's go. Lin Luo stood up and said to Kaliqiang. Let's go to help Master Hong. Chapter 9, Rapid Increase in Strength. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Clang clang clang. The sharp sound of the piano continued to ring. It flew in the air and turned into several huge fists, hitting Master Hong's chest directly. The corners of Master Hong's mouth, who was already seriously injured, were bleeding. He raised a stone millstone beside him and threw it at the Qin Demon. The countless sounds of the piano that turned into swords and knives rang again. The millstone was crushed mercilessly. The swords and knives continued to fly towards Master Hong. At this moment, the small flying stick appeared again. Boss Dong carried a bundle of red tassel spears and helped Master Hong smash the flying swords and knives. The battle has entered a white-hot stage. With the strength of the landlady and the landlord, it is impossible for them not to know the battle in the yard. They also know very well that with the strength of the Qin Demon brothers, the 3 of them, Kaliqiang, are definitely not opponents. But because the 2 want to live in seclusion, until now, the landlady and the others still choose to watch from the sidelines. The only thing Lin Luo doesn't understand is that if you choose to live in seclusion, then live in seclusion to the end. What's the difference between waiting until the 3 were almost killed before taking action and saving them at the beginning? The thought of absorbing the attribute values of the Qin Mo brothers was hard to suppress. Lin Luo appeared with Kuli Chang. Who is this? Boss Dong asked in confusion, not knowing Zhang De. Don't ask about my identity. I'm just an ordinary person hiding in the fortress. Lin Luo answered casually. The residents in the fortress are all talented. It's just convenient for me to hide my identity. Master Hong, you take a rest first, let us take care of this. Lin Luo said. Master Hong was seriously injured. Even if he had high attack and thick blood, his strength was only 1/10 of what it was. Kuli Chang, you rush forward and try to fight Qin Mo and the others. I will help you block their piano sounds. If there are any fish that slip through the net, Master Dong will help you. As long as we can get in front of them, everything will be fine. Time was in a hurry, and Lin Luo quickly explained the plan. In the original plot, Boss Dong almost killed the Qin Mo brothers alone. Now add Kaliqiang as a human shield and Lin Luo as an assassin, things become simple. Kaliqiang now trusts Lin Luo very much. The expressions of the Qin Mo brothers became serious and they launched an attack directly. The sound of the piano turned into swords, chariots, and skeleton warriors. Rushing towards the 3 people, with the experience of blocking the sound of the piano before, Lin Luo was much more comfortable. He stood behind Kaliqiang and kept shooting sword energy from his fingers. From 50 meters away from the Qin Mo brothers to a distance of 20 meters, Lin Luo felt his brain was groggy. Although the use of the 6 Meridians divine sword does not directly consume the spiritual attribute, but if it is used too much, it will still affect the user's spirit. Some of the fish that slipped through the net fell on Kaliqiang, leaving wounds on his arms and chest. Fortunately, the 12-way tan leg is not a showpiece. Kaliqiang kept blocking the attack and pushed forward another 10 meters. Master Dong, it depends on you. Lin Luo shouted. Boss Dong nodded and stepped into the sky. The bag behind him also scattered, and more than 10 red tassel spears were kicked out by him and flew towards Qin Mo. He himself held a red tassel spear, and flew forward with the spear as one. This time, with Lin Luo blocking most of the attacks, Boss Dong finally succeeded in flying in front of Qin Mo. A little cold light came first, and then the spear came out like a dragon. The tip of the spear pierced into the ancient zither, and all the strings broke one after another. Boom! Under the sunglasses, the 2 brothers of Qin Mo had their eyes broken. Neither of them was blind, but they used sunglasses to pretend that they were blind. Their weapons, the ancient zither, were destroyed, and their strength dropped suddenly. In terms of close combat, Kalikiang could beat both of them to death. In less than half a minute, the Confucian robes of the two brothers of Qin Demon were torn into pieces, and blood flowed from their mouths and noses. Kalikiang was attacked by the two and almost died. With hatred, he punched them hard, and the two Qin Demon couldn't even beg for mercy. Kuli Chang, don't kill them first. Lin Luo hurried forward to stop him. As his savior, Kuli Chang stopped his fist immediately. At this time, the seriously injured Master Hong, supported by Boss Dong, also came to the two Qin Demon. Who invited you here? Ha ha ha. The two Qin Demon struggled and laughed wildly. 12-way tan leg. Hong family iron wire fist. Wu Lang Bagua stick. Ha 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 ha. There are masters. That it was exactly the same as their behavior when they were defeated by the landlady. Standing in front of the two, Lin Luo was speechless. Who else could it be? Look there. Lin Luo pointed to the gate of the fortress. Several cars were parked there quietly. As if they noticed that they were looking at them, the cars started quickly and disappeared in the distance. Axe gang. Master Hong covered his chest and gritted his teeth. If it weren't for Kalikiang and the others' help today, he would definitely die at the hands of Qin Demon. Looking at Qin Demon again, Master Hong's face flashed fiercely. Seeing that he wanted to take action, Lin Luo stopped him again. What a joke, such a good furnace, it would be a pity to kill it in vain. Walking to Qin Demon and the other man, regardless of their shouting, Lin Luo stretched out his hand and pressed on one of them's forehead. Bei Ming divine art was activated. Pure energy was transmitted into the body through the palm of his hand. Opening the virtual panel, the attribute value began to soar. Plot character, Qin Demon, younger brother. 4 attributes are 37, 31, 43, 67 points. The attribute values of his elder brother are similar to those of his younger brother, and the total attribute values of both are around 178 points, with a 30% absorption efficiency of 1 level of Bei Ming Divine Art. Each person provides Lin Luo with 53 attribute points. Trialist, Inha, Reincarnation number, 202332250127, P-Zone. Strength, 57. Constitution, 54. Agility, 61. Spirit, 85. Free attribute, 0. Reincarnation points, 0. Reincarnation coins, 0. Skills, Bei Ming Divine Art, 1st level. 6 Meridians Divine Sword, 1st level, Reincarnation Star level. Trialist, looking at the attribute panel, Lin Luo's face flashed with joy. The total attribute value of 257 points has completely exceeded the requirements of a 1-star reincarnationist. Among them, the spiritual attribute is as high as 85 attribute points. If he encounters an opponent like Qin Demon again, he can completely defeat them without the help of Kalikiang and others. The psychological satisfaction brought by the sudden increase in strength is self-evident. Kalikiang and others beside him looked at Lin Luo with a little fear. The bodies of Qin Demon and the others had turned into a pile of dry bones, and the wind blew them into dust and flew everywhere. Kalikiang, who was most familiar with Lin Luo, showed fear in his eyes. Zhangde, are you practicing evil skills? What kind of evil skills are you practicing? Lin Luo curled his lips and said, if you don't understand, don't talk nonsense. I am practicing Bei Ming divine skill, do you understand? That he waved his hand to interrupt the actions of several people who wanted to ask more. Since Qin Demon was killed, the only thing left in the dungeon world of Kung Fu is the Fire Cloud Evil God. But as the ultimate boss of the 2-star world, he should not fantasize too much. When the strength is enough, he can come in again to attack anyway. As for others, it's a pity that I didn't meet other reincarnations in the dungeon, or, I have already met them, but they played too well and I didn't recognize them. Lin Luo turned his head and looked at Kalikiang and others behind him thoughtfully. The three of them took a half step back at the same time, not daring to approach Lin Luo. Looking at this cowardly look, it is estimated that he is not a reincarnation in the real world. Just when Lin Luo relaxed his vigilance, the familiar feeling of being watched came again. At this moment, he suddenly remembered something and turned to look at the rooftop in the distance. 2 wooden windows were wide open, and a fat figure with his hands behind his back was silently watching. Here, landlady. Chapter 10 Mission accomplished, SSS-level perfect evaluation. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The body, which had heated up due to the surge in strength, gradually turned cold. Looking at the landlady walking towards him, Lin Luo's muscles stiffened and his body tensed. In the plot, the landlady's nickname was Xiaolongnu, and she was a terrifying existence that could fight against Huiyun evil god. She also had a big trumpet, which made Huiyun evil god kneel down and beg for mercy. His current strength was completely insufficient. Well, that the landlady stretched out her hand, pointed at Kaliqiang and the other two, and waved at the same time, feeling the powerful breath coming from her body. Kaliqiang and the others did not dare to say much and turned away. Then, the landlady walked slowly to Lin Luo. She looked around him for a long time. "Your name is Zhang De?" "Yes." Lin Luo's expression remained calm. "How old are you this year?" That this question almost made Lin Luo unable to ask. He was almost certain that the landlady in front of him should be the reincarnation in the copy. If it was a real landlady, no matter when she appeared, she would definitely appear with a cigarette in her mouth, but she didn't. I was too careless before and actually forgot this detail, but why did he ask me about my age when we met? Want to support me? Does the landlord agree? Landlady, what do you mean by that? Lin Luo frowned and asked. His current identity is a resident of Pig Cage Village, and he is also a martial arts master. Emotional details must be done. However, the landlady in front of him did not answer his question. He said to himself, "Looking at your age, you should be around 20 years old. Where are your family members? Have you been in the Magic City 20 years ago? Do you still remember your childhood? Where did you grow up? Who taught you martial arts?" After a series of questions, Lin Luo remained silent. Several plots from the original novel suddenly flashed in his mind. When Xingzai finally played the Buddha's palm, the landlady and the landlord squeezed at the window and talked about the topic of age. The knot in their hearts was their son who had disappeared since childhood. Perhaps, this is one of her tasks. Lin Luo quickly figured out the cause and effect in his mind. I am indeed a local of Shanghai. My childhood memories are very vague and I don't remember them clearly. I only remember that my parents were often not at home. After the war started, I was alone. As for who taught me martial arts? Lin Luo was silent for a moment. My parents left me some things, and I learned by myself. Lin Luo didn't know Zhang Da's background story. It was just some things made up based on the background of the landlady. He smiled. As for my family, I have been lonely since I was a child, and now I only have a wife to accompany me. In the room. Landlady, why are you asking these questions? Nothing. The landlady shook her head, looking at Lin Luo. A complex look flashed in her eyes, and she emphasized, nothing, just asking casually. You go back and rest, you don't have to pay the rent for living here in the future. After that, she turned and left. Seeing the figure of the landlady going upstairs, Lin Luo smiled. I don't know who this person is in the real world, and she dared to choose a role like a landlady. If you are not strong enough, even if you choose the landlady, the landlord will notice something strange at the first time. Once it is exposed, the two will fight endlessly, but Lin Luo did not think much about it. He has made up his mind to end his trial after completing the Qin Demon plot anyway. There is no point in staying since he can't beat the fire cloud evil god. It is better to return and become a formal reincarnation as soon as possible, and the eldest sister-in-law at home has kept her promise. At least, before confirming Zhang Da's identity, the landlady will definitely take good care of her. There is no problem living safely in this small piece of land in Zhulong City. 2 hours later, it was late at night. Lin Luo walked out of the room with a comfortable body and found an empty corner in the city. Administrator, I want to end the trial. Ding! Trialer Galaxy, the Kung Fu trial copy has been completed and the trial settlement is in progress. Congratulations to the trialer for completing the task of repelling the Axe Gang and killing 13 Axe Gang members. The task took 34 hours and 17 minutes, exceeding the trial task. Hidden Task 1, Assist Coolie Chang, Master Hong and Boss Dong, and save 3 people, completed. Hidden Task 2, Kill the Qin Demon, completed. Hidden Task 3, Find the Strange Old Beggar and Buy the Martial Arts Secret Book, completed. Congratulations to the trialer for exceeding the trial task and obtaining the perfect SSS level evaluation. A series of prompts sounded. The prompts that used to be indifferent and plain had a little more tone today, especially when the SSS level evaluation appeared. Even the manager's voice was surprised. Ding! Another prompt sounded, but this time, the prompt was broadcast throughout the entire reincarnation space and the Kung Fu copy. Of course, only the reincarnations could hear it. Now reporting to the entire reincarnation space. Congratulations to the trialist Hehehe for his perfect performance in the Kung Fu dungeon world and receiving an SSS level evaluation. As soon as the words fell, everyone in the reincarnation space was instantly excited. Fuck. SSS level evaluation, are you kidding? I'm in the Kung Fu dungeon now. Who is this Hehehe? Wait, this guy is just a trialist. Is this the first SSS level evaluation since the appearance of the Samsara space? Shocked. It's hard for me to get an A-level evaluation, but Hehehe boss can get an SSS level evaluation just after his debut. Looking for Hehehe boss on the whole network for a fee. Isn't Kung Fu a 2-star dungeon? A trialist can get an SSS level evaluation. Is he cheating? Is it possible that the trial dungeon will reduce the difficulty? Although I also think it's outrageous. The Samsara space is very lively, everyone is discussing this notice and who the mysterious Hehehe is. In the Kung Fu dungeon world, the reincarnations are instantly boiling. If someone can get the first SSS level evaluation of the dungeon, he can get the title of the world master of that world. It's just that no one has gotten it so far, so the specific function of this title is unknown. But everyone with a discerning eye knows it. The title that can be emphasized by the manager is definitely of great significance. Today, the first SSS level evaluation of the Kung Fu dungeon appears. Disillusioned, many people choose to quit the dungeon world. In the pig cage village, the landlady, who is also a reincarnationist, is confused. While she is still worrying about the task, someone has received an SSS level evaluation. Who is this Hehehe? She would never have thought that Zhangde, who had just finished chatting with her, was the one who received a perfect level evaluation. As the initiator, Lin Luo was not aware of the commotion in the reincarnation space. After leaving the dungeon world, he has returned to the reincarnation space and stood at the position where he was teleported before. Lin Luo was also confused about the SSS level evaluation. At least half of the plot has not been completed, and his evaluation seems a bit inflated. It can't be that there is a problem with the reincarnation space, right? Looking at the reincarnation column in front of him, he was puzzled. Dear trialist Hehehe, welcome back to the reincarnation space. Congratulations on completing the trial task, and now the rewards will be distributed.